Hey everybody, it's Randy Ray at the Literate Texan. Excuse me. And I'm coming at you today with a tag, the spoiler tag. It's an older tag, but Alan at Big Hard Books Classics tagged me, and it's always an honor to be tagged by such an illustrious persona. So I'm gonna answer all the questions here. Okay, so it's a tag about spoilers. So question number one, what do you consider a spoiler? Well, a spoiler is anything that spoils a detail of the plot. There's minor spoilers, there's major spoilers. A lot of it's a judgment call. Obviously, if it's a major plot development, like a character getting killed, character getting married, something like that, you know, it's a resolution of a major plot point, that's a major plot spoiler. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, we know what spoilers are. Number two, does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? Well, yeah, it does. I mean, if it's a classic, you know, if it's like a really, really old book, like if it's Romeo and Juliet, I mean, hell, I mean, the play's 500 years old. If you don't know how that ends yet, then, you know, that's not really on me. But I always go into anything assuming there's going to be a spoiler there, but especially if it's something older. That's not necessarily a genre thing. It's more of an age thing. But yeah, if it's a whodunit and they tell you who did it, then it's a spoiler. But if it's how'd they get away with it, then that's not necessarily a spoiler. Does that make sense? Probably not. Number three, all the best bits are in the trailer. Sometimes a synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you prefer to know nothing about the book? Well, you know, I do research a little bit, and there are always minor spoilers. You can't talk about a book without spoiling something. It's just impossible. You know, in the movie business, they call it a high concept. It's one sentence description of what the movie's about. And, you know, you can get that from a book too. So, you know, I don't like watching movie trailers very much anymore because they spoil so much of the movie nowadays. They've gotten really bad about that. Number four, sometimes the introduction or translator notes can spoil the ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I read a major novel. I don't read introductions to novels anymore because of this, but I read a major novel and there was a major spoiler right there in the introduction. And I was shocked. I think it's the same book that shocked Alan in his video too. I'm not sure. We haven't talked about it, but I think it's the same one. But yeah, I was like, holy mackerel, did they really just spoil that? I know the book's 20 years old, but still, that's a major plot point, and I've never read this book. And it was such a popular book that maybe they just assumed everyone had already read it. I know I felt like the last man on earth to have read this particular one. Number five, name a time somebody spoiled a novel for you. I can't think of a time that someone I knew spoiled a novel for me. You know, most of my friends that are book lovers know better than to spoil the plot of a book for me. There may have been an instance, but I can't remember it. Excuse me. My mouth gets a little dry. Number six, have you ever spoiled a novel for somebody else? Man, if you're watching one of my videos, you should assume I'm going to spoil something because I'm forgetful. Yeah, I'm just real bad about spoiling stuff, and I don't always remember to put a notification that there are spoilers on the video in the description or anything like that. So be real careful watching my videos if you don't want to get spoiled. Read it first, then watch the video. That's my suggestion. Number seven, if spoilers ruin novels, are there some authors or genres you can't reread? Now, I don't think spoilers ruin novels. You know, a lot of the enjoyment of a novel boils down to the execution. You know, if you're purely in it for the plot and you want to be surprised by the plot, I think it's going to be unusual that you're surprised by the plot anyway. I think most of the time, modern readers, sophisticated readers, you're not going to be spoiled anyway. But yeah, I don't think there are any genres out there that I'm unable to reread just because the plot's been spoiled because I've read it before. Number eight, when reviewing, are you spoiler free? Does this limit your ability to discuss? Obviously, being spoiler free is going to limit your ability to discuss a novel because you can't talk about the plot. The more you talk about the plot, the more you spoil the novel. So I just assume that any of my reviews have spoilers in them, and you should too. And I should probably be better at labeling my content as so. And then number 9, shout out. Tell us about 5 channels you enjoy, and then tag them. Let's see, just off the top of my head, 5 channels that I enjoy. Especially lately, I've been enjoying the content over at Joe Spivey. That's really great. It's really great to see Steve Donoghue posting again. And, he took a short hiatus at the end of the year. Michael Vaughn's always a pleasure. So's Criminale. And then I should pick one more. Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads never lets me down either. And then let me also just mention books I'm not reading. She's terrific too. So there's the spoiler tag. If I shouted your name out, then you've been officially tagged. If you're watching this and think this would be a fun video to make, consider yourself tagged anyway. We're pretty informal around here with these whole tag things. Thanks for watching all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video, please stay hydrated. It's way more important than you think. And stay sexy. I'll see you in the next video.